Radicalization is a process whereby an individual or a group takes on increasingly extremist views. But how does radicalization happen, and how does it sustain itself? Studies have identified various factors whereby individuals can become more susceptible, such as personal grievances, romantic involvement, or status. In this video, we explore the importance of social interaction in radicalization. The collective of all social interactions between a group of individuals is commonly referred to as a social network. Social networks are often represented by a static graph. This can be useful, but it ignores the temporal dimension of social interactions. The recruitment process of radical groups involves grooming susceptible individuals to draw them in and cut them off from their normalizing daily environment. One way to analyze radicalization is via a temporal network model, such as the relational event model. The relational event model is a mathematical model for understanding the drivers of social interactions. Each possible interaction has an associated clock that can go slower or faster, depending on whether the interaction is less or more likely. One known driver is reciprocity. After receiving an incoming interaction, the associated reciprocal clock speeds up. But this acceleration is temporary. If an individual doesn't respond to an interaction immediately, the clock slows down again. Triadic closure can be loosely described as the tendency to become friends with friends of friends. In other words, the clock between Sara and John runs faster once we observe a temporal two-path between John and Emily and Sara. Consider this group of friends. Over time, they have regular interaction with each other. One day, Sara is contacted by a stranger who turns out to be an extremist recruiter. His main objective is to recruit Sara by isolating her from her former life. Given the natural tendency of reciprocity, Sara may reply to the recruiter. As communication develops, the recruiter invites Sara to various activities where she's introduced to other members of the extremist group. Here we see how natural social tendencies, such as triadic closure and transitivity, influence an individual's views. But what does it mean for Sara to become more radical in the relational event model? Intuitively, we tend to describe radicalization as a movement in an ideological space to the extreme left or right. This latent ideological space affects the speed with which Sara's interaction clocks run. The larger the distance in ideological space, the lower the tendency to interact. While recruitment progresses, Sara's location in the ideological space changes and she gets closer to the extremist group. Her interaction clocks with her old friends run slower, until they stop. After being radicalized, she only interacts with individuals in her new ideological environment. By collecting data of interactions on social platforms, it's possible to infer the radicalization process of individuals. The relational event model is a special case of a survival model, such as the Cox proportional hazards model, which identifies factors affecting the speed of the interaction clocks. We've seen that natural social tendencies, such as reciprocity and triadic closure in communication, allow radical groups to groom susceptible individuals. By slowly drawing them into their ideological space, they isolate such individuals from their original social contacts, which, without intervention, results in a vicious circle of further isolation and radicalization. However, social dynamic processes such as radicalization are reversible, and with insights from network sociologists, we can work towards a more coherent society. The Cost-Action-Cost Net consists of a collaboration of more than 500 researchers across 34 countries and is funded by the EU to carry out research into network data science. Our research is crucial to understanding and controlling infectious diseases, but also the stability of global financial networks, novel drug targets and genetic networks, underreporting in arms trade networks, as well as using relational event models to study temporal social processes such as radicalization.